Sinner accepts the big challenge and signs up for Madrid. The Italian and his team have decided to play the Mutua Madrid Open with the ambition of becoming the first tennis player in history to win 5 consecutive Masters 1000 titles. Jannik Sinner has seen a great opportunity to put his name to another historic, unprecedented achievement. The multiple withdrawals from the Madrid tournament, led by Carlos Alcaraz's absence, opened the door wide for the Italian to claim a title that is still missing from his resume. Sinner's initial plan was to take a long break between Monte Carlo and Rome, but after the positive feelings following his first major clay court title and the confirmed withdrawals from the Mutua Madrid Open, he and his team have ultimately decided to compete in the tournament. Already in Madrid since last night, Sinner will attend the Laureus Awards Gala, where he is nominated for Sportsman of the Year alongside Alcaraz. After that, the Italian will remain in the Spanish capital to try to achieve a historic milestone. After titles in Paris 2025, Indian Wells, Miami, and Monte Carlo, he now aims to become the first player ever to win 5 consecutive Masters 1000 titles. In addition, Madrid is one of the 2 tournaments in this category that he still lacks, the other being Rome, to complete the full set. Thus, the world number 1 goes all in for this major challenge, which would also secure his lead at the top of the rankings for much longer than already almost guaranteed. Pulling further ahead again, if he wins the title, the 1,000 points would give him an almost insurmountable lead over Alcaraz until after the clay court swing and very likely through the grass season as well. While awaiting confirmation on whether Alcaraz's injury is serious enough to keep him out of the Rome tournament too, Sinner once again shows his ambition to keep breaking records in tennis and now sets his sights on a massive challenge. If he wins Madrid, the Italian would also assert his dominance this season on a surface that has so far been his least favored. Madrid, Rome, and Roland Garros are the major titles still missing from his trophy cabinet, and the Italian does not seem willing to wait long to claim them. Beyond the immediate objective, Sinner's participation also reflects a broader shift in his mindset and career trajectory. Once considered a player more comfortable on faster surfaces, his recent performances suggest a growing adaptability and confidence on clay. His movement, point construction, and patience, qualities essential on slower courts, have noticeably improved, making him a more complete and dangerous contender across all conditions. Moreover, his current form places psychological pressure on the rest of the field. With several top players absent or not at full fitness, Sinner enters Madrid not only as the favorite but also as the player to beat. His consistency in recent tournaments has built an aura of inevitability around his matches, where opponents are often forced to play at their absolute limit just to keep up. Alcaraz withdraws from the Mutua Madrid Open due to wrist injury. The world number 2, who was aiming to reclaim the top ranking from Jannik Sinner, sees his progress halted at a crucial moment in the season. A major setback for Carlos Alcaraz, who has confirmed his absence from the Mutua Madrid Open after injuring his wrist at the Conde de Godó. The Spaniard suffers a second consecutive blow, retirement in Barcelona and withdrawal from Madrid for the second year in a row. There are pieces of news that are very hard to give. Madrid is home, one of the most special places on the calendar for me, and that's why it hurts so much not to be able to play here for the second consecutive year, the Spaniard lamented in a social media post. It hurts especially not to be in front of my people, in a tournament that is so special, he concluded, thanking fans for their constant support. The injury, sustained during his debut against Otto Virtanen, turned out to be more serious than expected. I thought it wouldn't get worse. But it's a slightly more serious injury than we expected, explained the player, who even had to receive treatment on court before finishing the match. A key moment. The world number 2, who was aiming to regain the top ranking from Jannik Sinner, sees his momentum halted at a crucial stage of the season. Madrid, where he was champion in 2022 and 2023, will once again be without its local star. Now, his goal is to be fit for the Rome Masters 1000 and Roland Garros. His absence adds to that of Novak Djokovic, leaving the Madrid tournament without 2 of its biggest stars. For Alcaraz, this interruption comes at a particularly delicate point in the calendar. The clay season is traditionally one of his strongest stretches, and missing key tournaments not only affects his ranking ambitions but also his match rhythm heading into Roland Garros. Maintaining competitive sharpness is essential at this level, and any extended absence can disrupt timing, confidence, and physical conditioning. At the same time, his team is likely to prioritize long-term health over short-term gains. Wrist injuries can be especially tricky for tennis players, given the repetitive strain and the importance of the joint in nearly every shot. A cautious recovery process may ultimately prove beneficial, even if it means sacrificing immediate opportunities. The €1 million prize awaiting Alcaraz and Sinner, Roland Garros announces a record prize pool with a 9.5% increase. A double success for Jannik Sinner. This Sunday, the Italian was crowned champion of the Monte Carlo Masters 1000 after defeating Carlos Alcaraz in the final. A major boost in many ways, as the title also had the world #1 ranking at stake. With the 1,000 points awarded to the winner, Sinner will overtake Alcaraz in the rankings this Monday. The rewards are also financial. For his victory in the Principality of Monaco, the player from San Candido will take home the largest share of a prize pool exceeding €6 million, €6,128,940. In total, Sinner will earn €974,370, significantly more than his opponent in the final, Alcaraz, who takes €532,120. With Roland Garros just around the corner, tournament director Amélie Mauresmo has revealed some of the new features. The main change is the prize pool, which has increased by 9.5% to nearly €62 million, the largest in the tournament's history. The clay court season has already begun, and Roland Garros has announced updates for this year's edition, including a prize pool increased by 9.5%, reaching €61,723,000 to be distributed among all participants. This prize pool especially benefits players in the qualifying rounds and early stages of the tournament. The winner of the tournament will receive €2,800,000, compared to €2,550,000 last year. This increase reflects a broader trend in professional tennis toward greater financial equity across the draw. By allocating more resources to early round participants, tournaments aim to support lower-ranked players who often face higher travel and coaching expenses relative to their earnings. It also underscores the continued commercial growth of the sport, driven by global audiences, sponsorship deals, and media rights. As the season progresses toward Roland Garros, both Sinner and Alcaraz remain central figures, not only for their rivalry on the court but also for what they represent in the next generation of tennis. Their performances, setbacks, and achievements continue to shape the narrative of the sport, setting the stage for what promises to be an intensely competitive and historically significant clay court campaign. And that brings us to the end of today's breakdown, a story packed with ambition, setbacks, and the kind of high-stakes moments that define a tennis season. What we're witnessing right now is more than just another tournament swing. It's a turning point. On one side, Jannik Sinner is stepping into Madrid with momentum, confidence, and a very real shot at making history, something no player has ever done with 5 consecutive Masters 1000 titles. On the other, Carlos Alcaraz is forced to pause at a moment when everything seemed to be aligning for him, reminding us just how fine the margins are at the very top of the sport. That contrast is what makes this phase of the season so compelling. Tennis isn't just about who's playing the best, it's about timing, health, decisions, and sometimes, taking risks when the opportunity appears. Sinner has chosen to go all in. Alcaraz, for now, has to step back and focus on recovery. But if anything is certain, it's that this story is far from over. Madrid will give us answers, but it will also raise new questions. Can Sinner handle the pressure of chasing history? Will the absence of key rivals make his path easier, or add even more expectation? And how quickly can Alcaraz return to full strength ahead of Rome and Roland Garros? As always, this sport keeps evolving week by week, and that's exactly why we follow it so closely. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to stay tuned, because the clay season is only just getting started, and the biggest battles are still ahead. There's a lot more to come, and we'll be right here to break it all down with you. Thanks for watching, take care, and I'll see you in the next one.